back to Spring-Into Math 8. We're starting the second lesson of Chapter 11 today. And the title of our lesson is called Transformations. But we have a little bit to do with that. We have translations, reflections, rotations, and dilations to all look at under this lesson. So let's get started. So first, let's start with the first thing we just talked about in our title here. Translations. One type of transformation is called a translation. Basically, a translation with geometry is the movement or the sliding of a figure up, down, or right and left along a straight line. Let's take a look at what that actually looks like. You can see here in our graphic that we have two polygons listed here on a coordinate plane. The one in the first quadrant listed A, B, C, and D is the one that is the original shape. We are taking this original shape and we're going to translate it to a different area of our coordinate plane. And what we're doing here is look at point A. Go ahead and put your finger on point A on the screen if you can. We're going to go over 7 units to the left and move 3 units down. Now point A ends up being point A1 over on the other shape. Now if we take each of these points on our original shape here in quadrant 1 and move them 7 units to the left and 3 units down, we will get what we call our new shape or our secondary shape. So the original shape has been translated to another place on the coordinate plane. Reflections. Another type of transformation is called a reflection. A reflection is a figure that flips itself across a line. That line can be the x-axis or the y-axis. The line that the figure flips over is actually called the line of reflection. Great vocabulary word for you to remember, line of reflection. Here's a great example of what this looks like. So on the left-hand side, we have a regular looking uppercase E, okay? In the middle, we have our line of reflection, which if we were on a coordinate plane, this would be the y-axis. And the image has been basically reflected or flipped over that line, and we get what looks like basically a mirror image or a backwards E in this case. So remember, a reflection is just flipping it over the x or the y-axis. Now, rotations. The third type of transformation is called the rotation. And a rotation is a figure that turns or rotates around a specific point on the coordinate plane. Now this could be the origin or a different point along the coordinate plane. So here's an example. We have two triangles. Now the purple triangle that's facing downwards, in the red it says 270-degree rotation counterclockwise. That means we're going to move the opposite direction, and if we moved it 270 degrees, we would end up where the green triangle actually is on our coordinate plane here. That would be a rotation of 270 degrees counterclockwise. But now let's take a look at the green triangle here for another rotation example. Our green triangle is being rotated 90 degrees clockwise. Basically, it's just turning a little bit, and now it's looking like it's facing downwards. So rotations, again, they go around a specific point on a coordinate plane, which could be the origin, or again, it could be another specific point on the coordinate plane. In this case, it looks like we're rotating around the coordinate plane. Lastly, we have dilations. This is a last type of transformation for us. Dilation is like a translation which the figure slides, but in the case of a dilation, the figure is also made larger or smaller, and the lines connecting or corresponding vertices meet at a point. That sounds very confusing, so let's take a look at a graphic that will help us better understand. So here's my example of a dilation. We've got two tigers here. We have the center here, which is that point where the lines meet. We have the original image, which is smaller, and the dilation here looks like maybe it's ×2 or ×3. That's how many times larger than the secondary image is in this case. So again, the dilation is taking something and making it bigger or smaller. Here's a great review graphic for you. I've broken it down, all 4 of these different types of transformations for you that you can easily copy down for some notes. So in review, a translation is when an image is sliding left, right, up, or down. Then a rotation is rotating around a specific point on a coordinate plane. Many times it's the origin. A dilation is either making an image larger or smaller, and in this case of our review graphic, the red image is being made larger into the blue image. And the last we have here in the bottom right-hand corner, the reflection. Basically, you have to flip an image over a line of reflection. Remember that key vocabulary word. If you haven't copied down these notes, you should right now. They're very important. Catch you next time in the next lesson.